Hey everyone, hello again. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. It's because my work life and private life got quite busy, always overtiming. I've been, trying to finish all my work before my trip, and as the title says, and in case you haven't been watching some of my other videos, I'm going to Thailand to get a boob job. So, yes. So in today's video, I'm just going to go through the different steps that I took to contact the hospital, what I'm going to bring, what I'm going to do, what documents and stuff that I had to prepare in order to book everything and pay everything. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, there you go. So of course, one of the first things you want to do is contact the hospital. In this case, I contacted KAMOL Hospital. Now in Thailand, there are definitely cheaper options, and KAMOL Hospital does charge different prices depending where you come from. And the reason why I chose KAMOL is that it's quite popular among other trans people in Hong Kong, even female to male ones, and it's also quite popular and has a reputation all over the world. It's one of the most reputable transgender based hospitals in the world. So they have surgeries for male to female, female to male, cosmetics, body, breasts, as well as the bottom surgery. My Thai friend who will be looking after me in Thailand actually got her bottom surgery there, and I know a few other trans people who also went there for different surgeries. So there are a few different ways to contact KAMOL Hospital. On their website you'll see there's an email address, a WhatsApp, and a Wechat, I believe. Wechat is mostly for Chinese speaking, WhatsApp is mostly for English, and emails, a lot of people say that they don't reply emails like quickly, if at all, so just try to WhatsApp them. I contacted them through WhatsApp because I want to do it in English, and when I contacted them through that, you will see that they have a little KAMOL Hospital icon with a older lady's profile picture on there, and you know that's the one. So after you look at their website and see what types of surgeries they offer, WhatsApp them and tell them what surgeries you want, and they will try to hard sell you some other ones. When I first messaged them, they were suggesting, some facial feminization surgery. I was like, no, I don't want that, because for me it's really scary to have bones cut from your face. No. So I was like, no, I just want this, this, and this. And what I'm getting is the breast implant. I did talk to them about butt implants and stuff, but in the end we settled with a body contouring with liposuction as well as fat transfer to the butt. So they're going to take fat from all over my body, mostly the upper and lower abdomen, but they might take fats from other places as well. And then they will ask you different questions, trying to understand what you're going through, like what you've been doing, how long I've been on hormones. They ask me if I have any kind of doctor's letters and stuff. These are not necessary, I guess, but it's good to have. For me, I had the real-life experience letter and the referral from the psychiatrist that I visited back in January, and I just told them, like, by the time I get there, I booked all of this. I started contacting them in March, and I said by the time in September I would have been on 23 months of hormone replacement therapy, and they're like, okay. And after you tell them everything you want to do, after they ask you all the questions, they will send you a link to a online sort of questionnaire, so fill that in as truthful as possible, and then check in with them again later in WhatsApp to see if they've received it and and had a look at your answers. So be sure what you want from me. I wanted the breast implant, so I took a look online. I think they do KAMOL does a Motiva brand, whatever it is, looking at the different shapes, so and the different fillings. So there's silicone and Solein. For me, I'm going with a silicone one, so it feels more natural, and there's no any kind of liquid that, if it were to burst, if I had an accident, it won't leak all over the rest of my insides. In terms of shapes, it's most famous as the teardrop or the pear shape or the round shape. For me, I think most transgender go with the round shape because we don't have that much natural boobage development, so we're just trying to increase the volume of all of it. So the round shape is probably good for us. And then you gotta decide where to cut. So there's around the nipples, so there's a scouring, but someone did remind me, hey, you might lose sensation there, which I was like, no way. Why grow breasts if I can't have the sensation there? That's like most of the fun. So there's also under the breast, which would be ugly, so I'm probably going to go with under the armpit. Where do you want to put the implant? Is it above muscle and under the breast tissue or under the muscle? I'm definitely tell them like, no, I don't want under the muscle. Please don't cut my muscle. Healing is going to be more painful. It's going to take a lot longer, and there's going to be issues with certain actions that require a push-up motion because you're cutting the muscle, so it never truly heals properly. So no. So I used to be quite fat. You see some of my older videos, you would see that. So I have a lot of, I guess, loose-ish skin, as well as I think an A cut and enough fat areas around here that I can do the above muscle. Next is to decide on your size. Now I recently did the cc to ml test. I put some water and put some rice into a plastic bag to see what size it is. So my invoice is 500 to 750 cc. I tried 500, I tried 750, and I think I'm gonna go with something around 600, 650. I'm gonna show the doctor some pictures of some models that I really like and some other trans online people that I really like the look of their body. Like, just make me look as close as that. I really like that a lot. And a friend did remind me is when a breast implant's inside, due to how it shapes the body, it will look bigger than what it is just in the bag. So yeah, that 750 bag is definitely too big. And I'll just recommend a website here called RealSelf, and there are a lot of other doctors and other sample pictures there that you can take a look to see what might suit you the most. I think most importantly is to, they will check your height and check your shoulder width to see what is good for your body proportions. If you're like 5 foot, 500 cc is a lot. For someone like me, I'm 6 foot, which like I'm 181 centimeters. 500 is going to be a bit too small for me. So number 2 was the butt lift, but also comes with the liposuction and body contouring. They told me that both surgeries together would be around a 6-hour surgery. And yeah, but the thing about that is they're going to take the most stubborn fat from my tummy and then put that into the butt. So when I lose weight, it'll be hard to lose my butt instead of my tummy. So hopefully that means I'll come back with a nice hourglass shape. Interesting thing that I saw that a butt implant costs more than the breast implant. Probably because it's more of it and you gotta sit on it. So my invoice also includes a 1-day hospitalization as well as 7 days at the hotel called the K Garden. It's also /serviced apartment. So I'll be staying there for a week because I'm with my Thai friend. I'm going to be staying somewhere else in Bangkok after that, somewhere cheaper, and I don't know, maybe 4-star, 5-star. It's quite cheap in Bangkok. By the way, if there's any quarantine changes in Thailand, KAMOL Hospital is registered as a quarantine place, so they can still pick you up directly from the airport to the hospital and no time will get wasted. Your recovery time can be a part of that quarantine time, so you're not wasting any days. And after you come out the hospital, you can have a mini holiday in Thailand while you continue to heal and go back for your checkup. And the hotel is not that expensive actually, and it is only about 3 minutes walk away from their hospital, so that's really convenient. So after you've confirmed all the things you want to do, they'll ask you, hey, when do you want to get your surgery done? I told them, I'm going to be flying on the 3rd of September, so I told them the exact dates and all that. So it is feeling to prepare for your family and your work, let everybody know everything, of course book your flights early. KAMOL Hospital will ask for your passport or ID, flight tickets, travel insurance, and your COVID vaccine proof. Once they've collected all of this information, they will issue you an invoice, so definitely check it. Mine had a minor mistake with the hotel where they booked me in for all the entire month. So I replied and they corrected it, and then at first I would pay the 10% deposit. I did a bank transfer with American dollars and I had to go to the bank and do that. And I do recommend a month before you go, definitely want to pay the rest of the invoice. That way you won't have to carry a lot of cash with you when you fly up to Thailand. There will be little bits of money here and there, like if the currency exchange is a bit different when you send the money, there's going to be a little bit left to pay, or there might be little bits here and there of, I don't know, regular things that you just pay with cash and that'll be okay. Now as of July 1st, Thailand has cancelled this thing called a travel pass. But previously, a month before your travel, the hospital will apply for a travel pass for you. And but that's no longer needed, at least for anyone who has enough vaccines. So you definitely want to check the Thailand travel guide to see what kind of vaccines they accept and how many doses they require before you go there. If you do not have the required doses or the required vaccines, you will need to book a COVID test where you will get the results 72 hours before your flight. So in this case, there are government public test centers. You can go book those. There are always spaces available. And of course, there are also private ones. The public COVID test costs around $240. When booking, make sure you select the part where it says it's for travel reasons, and they will ask you what travel document you're using, and you will need to bring that travel document with you to the COVID test. Now, before you go, I do recommend picking up a Thailand SIM card for your phone as well, because that's quite easy to get in Hong Kong. But if you didn't, you can get one there at the Bangkok airport. After you go to the main lobby, there are a few different kiosks near the entrance of the airport. There you can get your SIM card. Sometimes they'll ask you for ID. By the way, I also recommend printing out some of the stuff. For example, I know everything can be done on your phone these days, but I did print out my flight ticket itinerary. I did print copies of my ID and passport, because apparently that's quite useful in terms of what some of the travel blogs say. I printed out the first 2 pages of my travel insurance. I have my copy of my vaccine record, because they need to see that when you get there. Copies of my my psychiatrist papers to say that I'm a trans woman. I also printed out my quarantine hotel check-in voucher, as well as bring in the invoice, print out a copy of the invoice from KAMOL Hospital, and my proof of payment, even though they've already confirmed it. Pretty old-fashioned, I guess. Just want some physical stuff I can show them, like, yeah, get that done. As said earlier, KAMOL will pick you up from the airport. They have a black car with a little logo on it, and they usually ask you to meet them at the Starbucks on the 3rd floor of the lobby, which is also next to a subway. The easiest way to recognize this place is to head over to the 5th gate in the lobby, and the 3rd floor just above that is where the Starbucks is. Finally, due to some news recently about certain safety issues in Thailand, just try not to go anywhere alone. If you have to call a taxi, use an app. They use an app called Grab, or Grab Driver. It is pretty much their version of Uber, and the drivers on there are, well, safer than just picking a cab off the street. So for me, the overall experience went smoothly. The contact's English was okay, but sometimes it did take a while for them to reply. And when they do reply, they chat to you for a while, so you just get all your questions in one go, or your updates in one go. Then again, I did start my booking like half a year ago, so maybe the priorities to reply to me wasn't that high. And as said, I decided to choose English as a contact, so I contacted them through WhatsApp. So, since I'm a trans woman, I'm doing trans woman related surgeries, I can only talk about my experiences with that. If you're a trans man and you want more information on that, one of the people in Class HA Sufferers has written a blog about his experiences to KAMOL for doing trans men related surgeries, so please check that out. As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll be filming everything while I'm there. I'm extremely nervous because I'm actually flying in 2 days. I've got 2 nights left in Hong Kong as I film this. I'm very nervous, but I just really wanted to film this before I go have the surgery, have a photo taken before and after and all that. And so the video you see after this would be in a new shape, I guess. By the time I come home from Thailand to Hong Kong, I also would have completed 2 years of HRT, which is the main transition period for most trans people. So that, on top of having these surgeries, I've completed my physical journey since 2 years ago. And yeah, I'm getting emotional. I'm nervous. It can be scary doing something like this, because surgery is scary anyway, but it's a big alteration to your life. Not just the physical body, but how people would see you or what they think about you. And well, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you're happy. It's still nervous to think about the world after you transition, and the world when you have physical changes. So I hope it all goes well, and when you see this video uploaded, I would have gone through all of it by then. And I'll also be filming some travel vlogs too, because might as well. I mean, I haven't flied for ages. Take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.